Then to the city manager, can I ask a question of you? Is that appropriate? With regards to this loss, can you just give me, I guess, a breakdown of what the actual loss has been in TOT from this property from, say, 2018 or back pre-COVID to now?
Yes. So the trend in TOT from this particular hotel, and I will say, unlike sales tax, TOT is public, so we can disclose that per hotel. So the level starting in 2019 was 576,000, and then obviously in 2020, COVID hit. Let me give you that number. It was just shy of 200,000, and then 2021 started to shoot up about 300,000. 2022 annualized 400,000. 2023 so far in the first 5 months, we're projecting right around 475 to 500,000.
Okay. And then could you tell me, like, through your creative managing of the city, what ways or how much money do you anticipate new dollars that you've been able to create with the city staff?
Well, so that's a great question. So the new hotel that opened up, Residence Inn, is going to be generating approximately 900 to 1.1 million in TOT a year, plus all of the property tax that project assessed valuation at build out, and we're still getting that on the tax roll. We'll be somewhere right around 400 to 450 million.
Okay.
So all in all, with that development known as the Gateway at Millbrae, in addition to the almost 1 million square feet of biotech, we'll be generating about $2.5 million in additional revenue to the city when everything's stabilized.
And then are you also exploring new locations for hotels throughout the city in the downtown area with our new adopted downtown plan?
Of course. We own, I don't know for the benefit of the public, but we own the property, the parking lot, surface parking lot, just to the east of Peter's Cafe. That's been identified as a hotel site by the city council, and so that is an opportunity for an additional hotel. As the mayor said, we're right now in the process of negotiating with High Speed Rail to try to move them out of the way so we can productively move the build out of that blighted 8 acres forward. So we do have a lot in the pipeline.
Okay, and then also, would you say that it's in the mission of the city to do our part in supplying some type of resolution for our homeless residents and those that are within our borders?
I think, as Mr. Callagy said, I think the discussion with the council, I think it is all of our obligation. I believe as a governmental agency, well, let me back up. I guess if we do nothing, is that going to solve the problem?
Right.
I get complaints, for example, of homeless being, on the sidewalk or blocking an ATM. We now know that based on the Ninth Circuit decision that was, I think the Ninth Circuit, their first decision was going on 5 years ago. It was requested that they take a look at it two weeks ago. The Ninth Circuit upheld that decision that said if you don't have residential rooftops for the unhoused, then you cannot enforce removing them from the street or from the sidewalk.
What does that mean? Does that mean that you go to Walgreens, you go to Safeway, and if there's someone there blocking your pathway, you can call the sheriff, but our hands are tied?
Correct. There's nothing that the sheriff can do unless we have the supply of rooftops. If they're committing a crime, that's different.
Right.
Stop.
Correct. If somebody's publicly intoxicated, if they're committing a crime, of course. But that's why the city also invested $500,000 annually in Life Moves.
Right.
And I think, as Mr. Callagy said, having additional resources for social services to augment what we would otherwise have to fund is a way to move this forward. And I do think it addresses, the needs of the community. So, as Mike said, and he flattered me there, so I'll do anything he wants. Just kidding, just kidding. It is important, and I think Mike understands that, and we'll continue to have that dialogue, and I think he knows we're a small city and that we struggle fiscally, but we're on the road, as you're identifying here, we're on the road to diversifying our tax base, being able to, for the first time as a bedroom community, get a revenue stream in that's not so dependent on TOT, that's dependent on, we have our first corporate headquarters coming to the city, Icon. First corporate headquarters in the history of the city. There's sales and use tax that'll be generated from the point of sale from that particular headquarters. So, I think our road to becoming a city and being fiscally sustainable and providing the level of service that the community demands, that quite frankly, over the last 25 years, hasn't been there for this city. We're on a road to providing those services in a high quality city.
Yeah, so to that point, I guess my overall question is this a financial issue or is it a humanitarian issue that we have presented before us when you talk about where we're projected with regards to our city finances over the next few years?
Yeah, I think it's both, right? And I think that's what this dialogue and this is what,
Well, I mean, obviously, yes, we have to negotiate. We have to get as much as we can from the county because there will be a net loss.
Yeah.
But if we are doing that, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can focus on that, but we could also do exactly what you said, where we're actualizing millions of dollars as opposed to thinking about losing dollars. And so if we could do that and still think about our city and how we respond to our neighbors, that's important equally. Okay, thank you.
Vice Mayor Gina, and then I'm going to bring it back to me. And public, you've been incredibly patient, and we'll move on to you.